Hi everyone. While we are waiting for our guest Sharif University of Technology, this is just a short sound test to make sure that everything is alright. So if you can hear me well, you're all set. Hear you soon. Everyone can hear us just well. And in a few seconds, the whole broadcast will make a full circle to the YouTube video that is opened nearby on my computer. It will allow me to make sure that everything is all right. So how are you? Is it all good?
Yes, thank you.
Cool, good to hear you. Okay, yeah, sounds kind of right. I hope that it will work just fine for us today. So, first of all, thank you very much for taking your time and joining me in this spontaneous live broadcast. Do not expect a number of people to watch us live. It is just testing new ideas and concepts. So I'm really thankful that you joined me today. I would like to first of all introduce to our viewers my today's guest is a team of Sharif University of Technology, bronze medalists of ICPC 2019 World Finals and also Asia West champions. It is exciting. I think that's a great achievement and I'm really happy to be here with you guys. How do you feel about that? Is it already enough time to let it sink in and understand that you're really a bronze medalist of ICPC?
Of course, it was really exciting for us. And at the last 15 minutes of the contest, it was really, the movies are in the YouTube. You can see our faces. It was really hard, but when the problem was accepted, we were released and we were really happy. And yes, I think so.
So during the contest, I can clearly see, that during the contest you had several stages. Like you started awesome, 3 clear submissions, 20 minutes per problem. So like everything is going according to the schedule. Well, it is not the best start of the contest because Warsaw University is doing something incredible. Did you see the scoreboard? Do you pay attention to the scoreboard while you solve the problems? Is it important that, I don't know, Warsaw has 6 problems and you are working on the 3rd one?
Well, after we got accepted on each problem, we look at the scoreboard, but we don't look at the top of the scoreboard. We just move down to the bottom of the scoreboard and see which problem have been solved and how many teams have solved each problem too, so we can choose the next problems that we are going to solve based on those statistics.
So you don't really know what is your current place in the contest then? Or is it the number that you kind of try to keep track on?
Well, we just knew our rank, not anymore. Because in the DOM judge landing page, problem page, we have seen our rank, but we didn't know which teams were greater than us.
Okay. it helps you, right? I mean, it helps to release the pressure of that's how good is the first. Is it something you do always, or maybe on Open Cup or in other training competitions you watch at the scoreboard, but on World Finals you try to work with your eyes half closed? Do you do that often?
Yes, we usually do. We usually do not see the scoreboard during the contest. Sometimes, if our curiosity doesn't let us not to see the scoreboard, and sometimes we do look at the scoreboard, but we do not do that often during the contest.
It has changed a bit. For example, last year we were really serious not to see the scoreboard, but this year I think. Sometimes it was helpful and it gave us the motivation, and so we noticed the scoreboard more often.
I see. So the middle of the contest was a little rough with 2 wrong submissions, which is like really few. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, just a couple of teams actually managed to solve problems that clear without that many wrong submissions. What were the problems with these submissions? Can you talk me about? You have wrong submission on beautiful bridges at 1 hour 53 minutes and wrong submission on first of your name at 2:21. And the second one got fixed really fast, so it took you 6 minutes to figure out the problem. What was that? What was the issue with the solution?
With the first one or the second one?
Whatever it is.
And the problem
You said the problem that was fixed really fast, it was yours.
That was mine.
Oh, it was yours.
Yeah. I just made a simple bug in my code that I understand it just by reading my code again. Because the code was too short. I was almost sure that it should get accepted. But after seeing that, I understand that, and I said that I need keyboard to fix it. It's just 1 line, and after that, I got it accepted.
And when Ali submitted for he gets wrong, he would buy something for us. So we were sure that it would be accepted, and fortunately it got.
Okay,
yes.
That's good. Can you tell me what problems was solved by whom? So you started with problem A on 23rd minute. Whose problem was that?
It was Ali.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw.
Okay. Then the next problem at 0:45, problem dead end, problem D. Problem E, I'm sorry.
It was mine.
Okay.
I'm back.
Problem D.
Problem D was mine too.
Okay. Then 1:33, problem H.
Was mine.
Frames. Okay, good. Problem G after 1 wrong submission.
That was
Okay,
mine.
as well, good. And then a problem B at 1:70 minutes from the start. Beautiful bridges, fixed the problem.
It was mine.
Okay, awesome. And then I assume that the last one that you got correct at the very end of the problem is kind of, everyone's been working on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not paralleling at the very end, but rather concentrating on a single problem. How do you split problems between each other? How does it look? What is the very first thing you do during the contest? So you get 3 problem statements, 1, 2, 3, it's like that thick. And what do you do?
The first thing we do when the contest starts is we draw a table that have a row for each problem, and after that if any one of us read any problem, we write on that table about that problem. For example, it's a graph problem, and it's some game problem and stuff. And we also write how many teams have solved each one of the problems on that table. Every time we look at the scoreboards at the bottom of the scoreboards, and we sort in the middle of the contest. We usually sort the problems based on the number of people who solve them, and after that, when there are several problems that are that have been solved by the same number of teams, we usually split them by which one of us likes that problem more.
Are there specific topics that you particularly like, or maybe a topic that some of you will not write under any circumstances?
Yes.
For example, Parsa is the guy who writes geometry problems.
My condolences, I'm sorry about that. Everyone hates geometry problems, I don't know why.
Yeah. They're really hard to implement.
Okay, any other particular topics?
And I'm the one who goes for string problems.
Mahdi is good for graph problems, for example.
Okay. Was everything exactly as you planned during the World Finals? So, I mean, if there are too many geometry problems in a problem set, one person can get overwhelmed. Was it balanced correctly this time?
I think so. We didn't face any weird problem, and it was really regular. Actually, we were looking for the geometry problem. There was no pure geometry problem, and yes, it was okay. It was a normal problem set, I think, and we just went through it.
Mm-hmm. And also problem, I think problem B and problem J have, there were some geometric aspects in those problems, but we didn't really have to implement geometry codes and algorithms. We just have to think about some geometric stuff.
Is it good or bad? I mean, everyone hates geometric problems, but still prepares for them throughout the year, like really works into them. And then you arrive at the World Finals and kind of no geometry? Is it good?
Not bad. Actually, we had prepared for geometry, but maybe prefer not to face the geometry problems.
Okay, good enough. Can you give me a little insight on, you mentioned that as soon as you figured out where the error is, you just needed a few seconds to fix that on a computer. How do you read the code? Is it as soon as you submit the problem, you also print it and then read it in the printout?
Yeah. After submitting through terminal, we also print the file. And also, we split the screen into two parts. First for the one who codes, and second for the one seated with the other one and reads his code.
Okay. Is it faster to read from screen or from paper for you?
Paper is better, but printing takes time. You shouldn't waste that time.
Right. You mentioned that it matters a lot for you in that split screen setup. Who sits where? What is your standard procedure on who starts contest at the computer and how do you switch places after that?
At the start of the contest, I implement the template, and Ali and Mahdi read the first two problems, and then I draw we call it dashboard.
Dashboard, okay.
And then I start from the last problem. But during the contest,
we have a queue.
Yes, in the dashboard, we have a queue that is a priority queue based on the time that the code takes. And when we solve the problem, we write it in the dashboard, and the first one is popped, and
Okay, so you only really write into that queue how many minutes will you spend to code that particular problem. But what about first to solve? It's $1,000. Isn't it a reason to move a problem a little up in the queue?
Not really. I mean, we do not change our strategy because of that, but we would definitely, like to get that prize. But we concentrate more on getting better ranks than getting first.
Okay. Do you know what are the prizes for bronze medals, the monetary prizes? Okay, I'll refine the question. Sometimes it is possible that couple of first to solves will be more than you win if you get a bronze medal. Is it worth it for you? Like maybe, okay, you're not in top 12 as a result, but you get more money because of few first to solves. Which one is better? How that works for you?
we didn't concentrate on solving the first because we thought that if we be good in the contest, the first to solve problems they come to us. We shouldn't go to the
Okay.
and yes, we didn't change our strategy because of that.
That's a great answer.
Also, getting medal matters more than getting prize.
Why?
As you may know, we get medal after 18 years, and it's like a history here. Everyone congrats us and everyone praises us.
Okay. Sounds good. Tell me a little bit about how everyone welcomed you home. What were the celebration? Who got you the best congratulations out of everyone?
Also tell her about last night.
Yes, tell her about last night.
First, you say about the airport.
Yes, when we arrived in Iran, when we were, when our flights end and we go to the airport, we saw a lot of our friends and colleagues where they came to the airport and they gave us flowers.
That's so cool. What was the funniest, I don't know, paper transparent that they prepared for you? The funniest saying? I assume there have been some.
Yes, they prepared a movie, a clip that they edited some parts of the movies, videos that were uploaded in YouTube, and they, put them together with some sounds and some subtitles. The subtitles are very funny. I mean,
Okay.
And last night we had dinner. We gave dinner to about 200 people in our university.
Like, come again. 200, 200.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like wedding size reception. That's crazy.
Like
It was a big celebration dinner, and also some of our professors came to the dinner, and it was really big.
Okay, that's cool. I know that only two of you have been on the World Finals before, and one of you is a newcomer, right? Who's a new guy?
I'm the one.
Okay. What will you do next year? Do you know, I mean, you're a very accomplished contestant with IUI medals and everything. Do you have someone to substitute these guys for? What's going to be next?
I don't know actually. I'm really motivated to work for next year, but my teammates, I don't know. I still don't know. I have a twin brother. Maybe my brother come as well.
How old is
I
he?
don't. We are twin. Me and my brother.
Oh, okay, good. So that can work. How many more years can you participate in the ICPC? Because sometimes skipping a year is an option to wait for better contestants. Do you have that chance?
I'm in third year at the university. I guess I have 2 years.
Right, okay, sounds good. And what are your plans for the future? You know, you're now a senior, too old to participate in all these programming competitions, well, specifically the World Finals. Do you still continue to participate in, I don't know, Google Code Jam? The qualification was on the last week, by the way.
Yes, yes. We took part in the qualification.
It worked fine. I mean, you qualified, right?
Yes.
2 problems, very difficult this year.
Our plan, I think it's really interesting for us. We don't have a scheduled plan, for example, but I think for fun and staying warm in programming and the problem solving, it is really exciting. Maybe just for problem solving, and yes, we will continue as a fun and something like that.
Yes.
That's good to hear. Well, very important and interesting, in my opinion, part of problem solving is problem setting. Do you plan to continue maybe as a judge on your regional contest? Because once again, having a regional champions from last year propose problems for regional contest is something that, in my experience, every regional contest director looks forward to, because it's very important to have that, you know, a generation change and to attract the best and the brightest of your region back to problem setting. Have you ever problem setted? Are you given a problems on online judges, the code forces?
Yes, I mean, I guess we and even when we were in high school, we were setting some problems for a lot of competitions and code forces, and some international competitions, and also there are a lot of national competitions in Iran that we prepare problems for them, and we look forward to be in the scientific committee of the next regional competition. It's nice. I mean, that have the same interesting aspects than the participation.
What? I don't know if it is legal, because Ali is going to participate and he is our teammate.
Yeah.
Well, he won't be next year. He will apparently find someone else. So yeah, why not? It may be. Tell me a little bit about your regional contest. I know that you won. I know that you solved 10 problems. Can you tell us a little bit about how the regional competitions work in your region? Just like World Finals, but a little smaller?
Yes, it was really challenging and not easy problems, but somehow it went like World Finals, and in both of them we just solved a problem in the last 15 minutes and then we won. And yes, in the regional, there were 2 problems, challenging problems, I think. Problem J, which many teams tried but couldn't solve, and they solved it. And problem C, which was the key to win the regional. And in the last 15 minutes, we solved it. And you may know that in the regional, we won the regional, but we just solved one of the problems as the first team. And we didn't. Yes.
Okay. What are the other teams at your university who are as good as you? Was there a competition at the regional contest, or everyone in your university was sure that you are the team who are going to the World Finals?
The competition was really tough. I mean, the team that got second place, it was a really strong team. I mean, one of their one of the guys in that team have, I guess it's the top-rated account in Iran in code forces. Have been. I think currently he has the biggest rating in Iran ever.
Okay, sounds impressive. Are you not looking forward to participating with him for the next year? Like, is it possible so that you together will be in one team?
Yeah, that's really possible. There are two guys in that team that are still practicing, and I may end up teaming with them because they are really strong.
How do you feel about it? Are they really good teammates, or is there something to look forward to?
I don't know. Actually, they were my students in Olympia. Yeah, and I
So
don't
you're
know.
more of a coach figure for them.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe, but they are more strong individually. I don't know in a team whether we can be good or no. And also, I think in the regional, our advantage was our team, our strategy. They were like solving each problem individually without any strategy. We just managed our time better somehow, I guess.
We weren't really sure to win the regional, but I think the experience and the team working was what made us the champion of the regional.
You've been training together only this year, right?
Yes.
Last year, me and Mahdi were teammates, so we had trained. Yes, this team just 1 year. Yes.
How difficult was it to change the team and to add a new person to a team for you from team building point of view? Was it really nature for you that Ali is that good and he's just a good guy and it's easy to work with him?
Well, we know Ali from our high school. We were close friends, and when we decided to participate again in ICPC regionals, our third team member he has changed his university, so we had to find another person. And the first person that we talked to was Ali, because he is strong. He's really strong in competitive programming, and we were close friends, so we can, build a great team and do good collaboration and teamwork. So Ali was the first person that we talked to, and
Thank you.
The best person.
That's cool. I mean, it is very important to tell everyone that it's been a pleasure to work with each other, because it is a really high effort thing to work towards the World Finals, to train a few hours every day possibly towards that. So it is a really great thing. Can you tell me a little bit about your coach? Is it more of a team effort for you to establish the trainings and to figure out the training schedule and so on? Or is it more of a coach building that community in the university for you?
Actually, we had a coach and a co-coach. The coach was one of our professors that helped us by having, for example, some little courses for us, especially on geometry. But in the daily exercises, our co-coach was the one which helped us by preparing contests and giving us advices. Our co-coach was the former participant of Sharif technology. Last year, he was one of the team members.
What's his name? Let's give him a round of applause and let everyone know that he's cool.
Amir Kayvan Muhtashami.
Okay, that's cool. Is it something that is common for your university to stay and co-coach the next World Finalist team? Or is it more of a specific situation with you and you being friends as well?
I mean, our university, I don't know if the last year's, who was the last year's co-coach? You know?
I don't have.
Yes, we didn't used to have co-coach, I think. This time was the first time, as we know. We don't know about the last time. Yes, that's.
But you will help Ali, right, next year? You either problem set or train him for the World Finals.
If we can.
We like to do that stuff.
It sounds really good. You mentioned that one of the first things to do during the contest would be to write a template. You write in C++, right? Everyone writes in C++. Do you use any IDE or do you write in Vim?
In Vim view.
Okay. So is template is just vim.rc file or something extra? What is in your template?
We had, I will explain. First, 3 type def we have: long, double, and pair of int and int. We type def, and then we had defined for first, second, pushback, and size. And there was a special function named in, which we use it, and it's we use it scanf to input an int and return it, and then a constant of n, just that.
Okay. If you know that the limit for a problem is, I don't know, 10 by 9th, how do you write that? Will it be... Sorry?
1e9.
1e9, okay. So I've seen dozens of different options with all the shifts and everything, and I think that kind of says a lot about a team, whether they kind of are mostly looking into something tricky or the readability of the code is important. What would be your priority? Do you really think about, my friend will need to read this code, so I'll write it clear and nice and beautiful?
I think we do write our codes beautiful and nice. Anyway.
But we didn't have protocols, for example, but we used to try to write clean, not for our teammates, but for ourselves, so we can debug easily, and it also helps our teammates to read our codes.
Okay.
Yes, maybe for example, for some common cases, for example, the template of geometry points, for example, yes, we had one common, for example, pattern in style. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. Let's look at the scoreboard once again. I definitely know, because I've seen all the reactions videos for every single medalist, that when you tried to submit direct in rainfall, say a minute before the contest ends, you were sure that you are in the medals, and you were really, really happy about the way that contest went for you. So probably at the very end, you actually took time to look at the scoreboard and figure out all the ups and downs and possible results, right? So you knew that you will have a medal.
Well, we hoped, actually, and we were not sure. We didn't look that carefully at the scoreboard till the end of the contest, because we had a problem that I was coding, which remained incomplete. And after that, we saw, and we were really hopeful, because we were really good in 6 problems in the 4 hours.
Right, the time was really good.
Yeah, we thought that with our penalty, we will get medal, hopefully.
Okay. It took you quite a while to get problem mini golf correct. You've been working on that for 2 hours, basically, from the accepted time of the previous problem. was it the right way to go all along? Or did you go in the wrong direction at the very beginning and you had to redo? Give me an insight on how was that problem solved?
It was really exciting because Ali solved the problem and explained me the solution. And Ali told me to write the code.
I told him that I will not code this problem. It's not my type.
Yes, and I started to write the code, and there was some function. There was a single function that was a really important function, actually. And Ali said, this function suits parser more than me. So I started the code, and I explained parser how to, explain to the parser the signature of that function, and how we wrote the whole code. And parser, just after I finished my code, parser started writing his function, and after that we just compiled the code. And there was a simple mistake in our implementation that lead us to that did the code to get drawing outputs in our sample input. And it takes some time to debug that code because in the first we were not sure is it the bug in the end, the bug was only, I think the bug was only about integer overflows. So we just, changed our integer type, and it was, answered correctly. But it takes some time. I guess we had at least 20 minutes debugging that simple issue.
But we guessed that we solved it in a hard way. I don't know which.
Yeah,
there were some simpler solutions.
Yes, our solution was not the easiest solution to this problem.
Did you check with the official problem analysis afterwards?
Not that problem. I mean, I talked about that problem with other teams that were solved it really quickly because I was sure that they didn't solve it the way we did it because because our code was about, I think it was more than 200 lines of code.
Quite a lot. Did you solve the other problems? Because the problems are available at the online judge. Is it something that you do, or rather like the world finals are over, let them be, I don't want to see these problems anymore?
I haven't yet found the time to go to them, but someday I will try to observe them, of course.
And I will too, for next year.
Okay. Because all problems are available, so it's always a kind of great, psychical trade-off of, do you know if there were simpler problems? If you actually could solve problem, I don't know, F, if you would focus on that faster than working on problem J through all the time.
Also, I believe the problem with that robot was pretty easy, but hard to code and a bit ugly.
It was problem
we could have solved that too, but no one went to that problem because it was too long, too ugly, and
Okay.
And also, I guess we found our bug in problem F, and we found how to solve that and how to fix that bug, but we didn't implement the current solution. But we know how it works. So.
How long would it take for you to solve problem F as well?
The problem, if you know that, consists of two parts. In the contest, we finished the second part. The first part was remaining, that was sorting the lines. I guess That would have taken 20 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, maybe 20 minutes.
No, the first part, only the first part.
Yes.
Yes. That sorting has a easy sweep line.
Yes. It needs a sweeping line algorithm.
Yeah.
So just one more problem, and you're in the silver medals. Is it something that you think about, or is the silver medal going to be the goal for Ali for the next year?
The second one.
Yes, mostly the second one, because we were really happy to get medal, I guess, too, because of that, the last year that an Iranian team could get ICPC medal was in 2001. Mm-hmm. So, the bronze is not silver, but it's a medal.
We were lucky not to have bugs in our codes, and it was really good. We didn't expect, so that's
I mean, you really had a very successful and clear contest, in my opinion. And I would like to personally thank you for the fact that you actually celebrate every solved problem, because that is something that I'm sure a lot of our spectators agree on is very good to see in the broadcast and on YouTube afterwards. So I'm happy to see that you've been enjoying the contest so much. I know that in the World Finals you are allowed to bring in team reference materials, at most 25 or something pages. Do you have a team reference material, and what's in there?
Yes, we have placed it on GitHub, and you can also see that it starts with geometry part, some of the functions and templates, and Delaunay triangulation was something that in the last days we prepared it and put it in the template. After that, graph algorithm, I think.
Yeah, there are some graph algorithms that were not really. It wasn't really easy algorithms. Like, for example, the weighted finding the maximum weighted matching in general graph, like Edmonds plus sums algorithm, and some other algorithms like finding a spanning tree in directed graph, and some of these algorithms. And after that, there were some constants like which number have the most divisors. For example, the number that has the most divisors that is under 1 billion. Some other constants, because we are going to have a calculator during the contest. Mm-hmm. So we wrote some powers of 3 and some of these kinds of constants in our reference material. And also we had some string.
Yeah.
And data structures.
We had string and data structures. For example, we have creep and we have link cut tree. Mm-hmm. And we actually have the ones that we are not kind of master in those codes. And also definitely we had FFT and NTT too.
And also a combinatorial cheat sheet in the last page.
Okay, that's great. Okay, thank you very much for your time. That would be the end of our interview for today. Bye-bye and have a good time.
Thank you. It was an honor for us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for suggesting.